Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. Uh, People are noticing when they are going through hydration and detox, they are losing weight. Some people are losing weight faster, some people are losing it slower. Some people complain that they are not losing weight, that they are gaining weight. And in general, especially in certain phases of self-healers protocol, there is a feeling of lack of energy. So let's discuss a little bit the energetic part of it, because if your demand on energy rises, well, you are going to lose weight. But sometimes, even if you are detoxifying and you are following the protocol, you are not losing weight. So what is happening? And you feel lethargic. So what is happening? Um, Here we always have to have in mind the quantum point of view, that we are toroidal field, we are energy. So why would we be missing on energy? It is all program setting. So when, as an engineer, creator, when you are designing something, then you have to prioritize certain actions. As it goes to a life of animal or human being, where do priority go? Energetic priorities. Where, how the body is going to be set for the best efficiency. Well, I have explained when to be able to feed yourself, because we have the program that we have to eat to gain energy. So to feed yourself, you have to be active. This activity requires energy. Every muscle movement is done through electric stimulus. So obviously, when you are moving, you are going to be using, not losing, but using energy. But since the program is set that energy comes out of your body, so you feel tired. Now, eating in this case becomes very important to sustain you, because the program is set that if you don't eat, you're going to lose weight, you're going to die. So you have to eat and hydrate, because plasma, water with minerals, is being used to cleanse the body, among other things. And whatever comes in has to come out, because we actually do not need anything. It's all programs running that creates necessity. So whatever you put in has to come out. And to come out, it can do it with through respiration, some of it, but basically you cleanse with plasma. Anything you want to wash, you need water for. So if you are healthy, then you prioritize energy for food gathering, hunting. In our civilized world, very few are food gatherers, farmers. Great majority have completely nonsensical jobs, paid a lot of money. The less productive job you get, the more money you are going to be paid. Just look at politicians. They do deadly squat and they receive huge amounts of money. Okay? So this society is really crazy. And we are crazy to tolerate it. But the least productive people are being paid the most. Well, in a body, it is not so. The body is uh, programmed to prioritize for necessity. So you feel okay, well, you have to go hunting so you can then feed yourself, sustain your life. So hunting is very important, and this is number one on your energy priority list. After hunting is done, when you are relaxing, then it's okay. Now where's the food? Let's eat. So when you get hungry, you eat, you start digesting. Well, digestion is the next step down. If after you eating, if you go and become active, you are going again into the vibrational setup of hunting, gathering, and digestion is being robbed of some energy because the energy prioritizes the work. So you will digest very slow or not digest at all while you are doing the job. This is why when you eat, after eating, if you get up and start working, you stop being hungry. If you are eating and you stop and your stomach is not completely full, you will still have the hunger feeling. And digestion is starting, so you start losing the energy, so you start feeling tired, but you still feel like nibbling on something. If you get up, this goes away. Because again, prioritizes focus on hunt, gathering. Nothing else is important. Don't waste energy thinking about other things, but what you are going to be doing. This brings us to third energy setup for observation, thinking, creating. Although brain uses most of the energy, but as a setup, when is the energy going to be used? Well, this thing of thinking and wandering is on a third level. Now, there is one part that we did not mention, which actually goes and precedes even the hunting. And this is a growth. We use a lot of energy for growth. So as child is growing, the energy is being sucked into growing process. This is why children are not such good workers or hunters, because energy prioritizes in growth, which robs them of energy. So they do not have that much energy for other things. And of course, one thing that becomes even bigger user of energy and will surpass and go in the first place when necessary is healing process. Because if the body is becoming incapacitated to hunt, well, this is a big no-no. So healing has to set in. And when we start vibrating in a healing frequency, well, all the energy is being sucked there. And we feel lethargic. Not that you don't think about hunting and working. You don't even think about eating, not even drinking. You just want to be left alone because all the energy is being sucked. It is going into the reparation process. Part of the reparation process is also the cleansing because it intensifies during this process. Hydration and cleansing. Now, hydration, if you're in really bad shape, you don't even feel like drinking, but still, you will be kind of hydrating because you are going to be reverting the energy towards areas which are toxic and cleansing them out. And you are going to be eliminating through urine, darker, smellier urine, because it is more toxic. And you are going to be eliminating through diarrhea, vomiting. So you are going to be draining your fluids, which again, you will get to do that. Your blood has to receive. So blood is hydrating from where? Well, from the liquid plasma that is trapped in your tissue, that is in your lymphatic system, sometimes even inside of the cells. So cells squirt it out and the tissue, all the liquid has to go. Again, it's a program that runs this. Now, whenever we are dropping on energy, what is happening? Well, the voltage is dropping. You have a big consumer of energy, it will suck the energy and start dropping the voltage, unless you put more voltage in. Now, what does that mean? Well, this means that your frequency is going to become unstable. More draw on energy there is, voltage drops, making your frequency less stable, easier prone to shift. And this is why growing organisms, babies, children, when they are growing, energy is being sucked that way, and there is, of course, they also have to eat more. They have to cleanse more. Cleansing is sucking the energy out. So this all contributes to bigger consumption of energy, dropping the voltage. Dropping the voltage makes frequency unstable. Unstable frequency is prone to shift of frequency. So if there is any influence of out of tune frequencies, they will be making actual impact on skewing the body's frequency and causing it to vibrate differently, which again we see in our reality because of the programming set up as appearance of diseases. This is why children, although they have a cleaner blood and they are better hydrated than grown-ups, but they catch disease easier. Why? Energy problem. They're draining a lot of energy into the growth, hydration, elimination process. When we stop growing, all these processes related to this drop, more energy stays available, more energy, more voltage, higher voltage, more stable vibration of our body, our cells, our organs, and it's high resistance to the influence of bad frequencies on the outside. And we become resistant to diseases, to shifts of frequency. This is what disease is. What is happening with all these fruits and plants which have been hybridized, muted to yield more, bigger fruits, more grain? What happens? They have to grow faster. As they go faster, they suck on the energy, so their voltage drops. Voltage drops, electromagnetic field drops. Lower electromagnetic field always start looking at everything what is happening from a point of physics. Because our reality is based on electricity, electromagnetism, and vibration. It's not based on oxygen and carbon and hydrogen. None of it. These are all our inventions to try to explain what's going on, because we have been fooled to believe in this biochemistry baloney, when actually the truth lays in physics, but not Newtonian physics. We have to go into quantum physics, which is completely different. Completely different. There are no particles in quantum field. And here we get hooked on a particle and we start focusing only on particle, only what we can see, what we can feel. And we are missing the whole picture. So, when plant is growing and yields larger fruit, more grain, what happens? It is sucking more energy from the pool of energy that is normally designed for it. So it stretches it out. So energy that is supposed to be in this area, all of a sudden is spread to this area, which means the electromagnetic field that is strong here, it becomes weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So now they are weak electromagnetic field. Again, it's programming. A weak electromagnetic field signifies a problem. And when something is in problem, then again by design, we have things that come and deal with this problem. Now, we may call those things pathogens. We may call them bacteria, we may call them fungus, parasites. But actually, again, those are creatures, it's a creation to deal with something that is falling apart, that is not working well, because it does not have proper electromagnetic field. So as the electromagnetic field weakens, because it's de-energized, now you have formation of these things that go and start taking it apart, because it's non-functional. It doesn't function according to the design. And this is why we have problem with pest. We have a problem with monoculture. It's not only monoculture that no other frequencies protecting it, but it's also that it's growing faster, growing larger. But it's designed actually to be small and to grow slow, to have the proper field. Now we are stretching, we are exploding everything out with the same amount of energy that was designed to carry it. And this is why we are having problem with pests. So what we are trying to do, poison the stuff. So shift those frequencies with poisons to suppress. So whatever we are trying to achieve, the size, the abundance, continues. Well, we didn't figure this thing exactly right. Because if we want to have bigger yield, we have to go into programming and change the programming. But we are not changing the programming. We are just making adjustments to the already running program. We wanted to do something that it is not being programmed for. And this is why we experience these things. This is why children can easier get parasites than grown-ups. This is that children can get easier diseases than grown-ups. They can easier break bones than grown-ups. And we always go on the impression, well, children, they are cleaner and they are more energetic. They should be more resistant. They are younger. They should be less sick. Well, it has nothing to do with age. It is all based on energy, magnetism, and frequency. So once when we start understanding correctly the manipulation of energy and how it affects magnetism and frequency, then we can go into the third point, or fourth or fifth point, where the energy is being sucked very rapidly out. And this is through stress. Or what causes stress? What is stress? Stress is sudden high brain activity. And we know that nerves use a huge amount of energy. Why? Because they are broadcasting. Every time you think, you broadcast. When you are in a fear, you are thinking on steroids. You are thinking of all the possibilities that have not happened, that might happen. You are inventing things. This is why people who are in fear, they are also sickly. Fear and sickness are together because fear sucks the energy. Low energy, low resistance to push of wrong frequencies, and you go out of vibration. The vibration changes. You go out of synchronicity. So now on top of growth, we have a stress as the biggest draw of energy in the body. And it will drop the voltage like a magnet, just sucks it out. And this is why when we are talking about the body, how it works, and how we have to hydrate, and we have to cleanse, and we have to heal. Now, what are these toxins doing? These toxins actually serve as resistors to electric flow. So more toxin you have, the more resistance, the flow is not going out. So if your body is toxic, then even when you are in fear, your body cannot properly react because there are so many resistors. So even the energy that has to be drawn out has a resistance to it. This is why you have people that are in stress and they are fat, because they are so toxic that body cannot really react correctly. And what happened is that the brain needs this energy but cannot get to it because too much resistance coming in. And you are having mental problems. You start having more fears, but also you are starting having problems of foggy brain. You cannot think clearly. So how energy flows through the body is extremely important, but also we have to understand the settings, how energy is going to be used. This is important to understand when we are going through with the self-healers protocol, because self-healers protocol is about hydration, is about cleansing, about not poisoning the body, so eating correctly. And as soon as we do this, we start eliminating resistors. So we start cleansing the frequencies that do not serve us, that serve as resistors to flow. And we start using energy more efficiently and faster. So in that case, you become more alert, you start thinking clearly. But at the same time, what happens? Cleaner you are, faster flow of energy, and you start using it faster, and you start losing weight. I have people that are worrying a lot. Oh, I'm losing weight so much, and I don't know if this can be sustained like this. I've never been so light, so skinny, and I have physical work I have to do. I need energy. Well, don't worry about it, because if you are really losing the energy, which means this much cleaner you are, so your body can actually do the cleansing that it has to do. This is part of the situation that you are in. At least you are cleansing, you can do it. As soon as you cleanse those resistors out, which are not in your blood, which are in a tissue, this resistor in the blood is the worst thing, because this is where the flow doesn't go, and this is what breaks us. And this is why we have always the symptoms of disease when the blood is toxic, not when the body is toxic, or aura is toxic. It's a secondary, tertiary. Number one is blood, because through the blood we have the flow of energy. Not through nerves. Through nerves we use it, but through blood is where it's created, where it's zooms through the body. The heart is not just a pump. Heart is the engine. It provides the energy, provides the electricity through the blood. And more toxins, you have more resistors, and it just cannot flow through it. So if you already are in a point that you are losing weight, at the beginning, when you start, you don't lose weight fast. You may even gain weight because you are gaining hydration and you are not losing that much fat. Why? Because you cannot really detoxify. Energy doesn't flow. You don't get enough energy there. Blood is too toxic. So it needs a little bit time until blood starts cleansing and energy flows better, and then you start poking the energy, the toxic stuff, from the tissue into the blood, and the flow continues faster and faster. So if you are losing weight, well, at least you know your blood is kept clean enough so it can do the detoxifying of the body. Don't worry about it. As soon as the body becomes clean enough, the dynamics of it is going to change, and you will be detoxifying slower the tissue and your cells. Blood will be maintained relatively clean, and less energy will be wasted. This is why I say we have 3 different mechanisms of cleansing the body. We have the primary, which is your kidneys, which actually, well, we can even start with primary as a lung, cleansing through breath. But since we are focusing now on blood and tissue, okay, so it's kidneys through urine, but you waste a lot of plasma. But you don't lose too much energy. If toxicity becomes higher and your body wants to release it, it will need more plasma, but it will lose more energy. And this is cleansing through mucosal tissue, through your respiratory and digestive tract, creating toxic phlegm, toxic mucus, which can create nausea and diarrhea. And this is how you cleanse them out. Again, this takes way more energy than kidneys. And then the third part is through the skin. But when you cleanse through the skin, your blood is toxic and your tissue is very toxic. So you have a lot of resistors to do the cleansing. And this is why also we feel usually low on energy and irritable and blurred vision, and we have all these other symptoms when we are cleansing through the skin, because the body is already very toxic on every level. So don't be afraid losing weight. If you are eating, you're having, I don't know, 400 grams of fatty meat a day, this is enough for body. Remember, your body's energy comes from heart. The food that we are taking, it's a program that tells us you need certain amount of calories so the program can run properly. If you don't get it, well, program shows you decay and you're getting thinner and whatever. So don't worry about the programming. If you are providing enough food and 400 grams fatty meat, let's say 150 grams of fat and 250 or 300 grams of protein, this is more than enough for the body. Then some plasma. If you are doing this and you are losing weight, well, your body is sucking the energy, it is cleansing, it's working perfectly, just let it go, let it do its job. When the toxicity decreases, this is going to be enough nutrition to start filling you up again. Maybe you're going to have to slow down and eat even less. So it's important to understand how the body works. And again, go away from physics, from chemistry. Forget about oxidative stress, antioxidants, hormones, enzymes, vitamins. Skip that garbage. Focus on physics. Focus on energy in form of electricity, hydrogen in biology, or hydrogen in physics. In biology represents what we label electron does in a physics. So it is your particle of energy. We are creating particles because we cannot understand anything without particles. Because to see something, it has to be in a form of light particle, dot. So you can make a dot picture of it. It's all imagination. But the truth lays in energy itself. And we have to look through it through energetic point. It simplifies things and brings you answer to any question you have. 80% questions cannot be answered through biochemistry. Cannot be answered. Not even through Newtonian physics. Quantum physics is where the truth lies. Truth. So this is why we have to start focusing. And keep in mind, if you are afraid that you are losing too much weight, being afraid is what takes even more chunk of the energy out of you and makes you skinnier yet. Because remember, fear is one of the biggest consumer of energy. So every time you have concerns about something you are doing, you are actually increasing the problem. Don't bother yourself with things that you cannot change at the moment. Eating more, is eating more going to solve the problem? In some cases, yes. But then again, is your digestion capable to consume that amount of fat that would need to be consumed to satisfy you with energy and gain you surplus while you are in a healing process? Sometimes not. Eating more times, yeah, you can slow down the detox process, you can slow down the healing process, and then everything is going to be easier on a body. But now we are in a particular situation that frequencies are rising through the roof, which means genetically we are adjusting, we are mutating, and energy goes there. We are actually going to be growing, so we have to be reprogrammed. Otherwise, we all become sick. And this is why we are sicker now than we were before, just because of this big transformation that is happening in our biology. We are going through evolutionary process right now. And nothing is as it was before. So don't expect it to be this way. Get ready for surprise. Have faith, relax, embrace it. Change is always good. It's so scary, but it's always good. So try to eliminate the fear of it. Put yourself in the Creator's hands. Have faith, have trust that everything is going right, because it cannot go wrong. It is controlled by the master designer, by consciousness. So nothing to worry about. Get rid of the fear. No, we can never get completely rid of it because we are programmed with it as a part of our preservation system. But we have to at least make it in such a way that it does not interfere with our life. More we understand what is happening around us and with us and within us, the easier it is going to be to control the fear. And the best way is, if you are religious, stick to your creator, no matter how you call it, being it Allah, Krishna, Vishnu, God, Thor, whatever. Think of it as your creator who is now adjusting you for the new experience. Surrender, accept it, relax. And more you do this, the faster will be the process and better you are going to feel through it with less problems, no anxieties. Just accept it. Remember, it's all about electricity, electromagnetism, voltage, vibration. That's what creates our reality. And it's all controlled through consciousness. Not our mind, not our ego, which is just fracture of consciousness that only knows the movie we call reality, does not know anything else, does not know even itself, unless you connect with your heart. And we have to do this as well. And this is why we have to relax. You can call it prayer or meditation, and try to get in touch with ourselves. And more in touch with yourself as you become, the more you want to help others, and you start prioritizing helping than gathering for yourself. This is the next stage. Then you know that, okay, you are shifting. With this shift, you start connecting with your true consciousness. And once when you have this connection established, it's gradual, then need for memorizing and holding information is going to disappear, because what we have created in our computer systems, we have this cloud, we call it, where information goes. Everything what you do goes in a cloud. Well, the cloud could be like representation of the consciousness. Now, if you are always connected with the cloud, well, then you don't need your memory packs. You don't need your computer memory, with exception of the working memory, that you bring the program from the cloud, from the consciousness, you bring it in through telepathy, and you use it. And this way you have all the programs available, not only those that you have accepted and guarded and you look everything that you do, you look based on them. What are these programs that you have accepted? Because those are limited and corrupted programs. Once when you are connected directly to the cloud, to the consciousness, through telepathy, then you cannot be manipulated anymore, because then you have choice of all these programs and you select tap, 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 tap. Oh, okay, this works. No more memorizing. And this is why we are losing memory. And if you start losing memory, don't think you have Alzheimer. This is normal process now. And you will become, when you start feeling, you think of someone all of a sudden, and a couple of minutes later they call you. Or you go out and you bump into them in a store. Well, some call it synchronicity. This is telepathic connection. You have been brought already with that individual, with that frequency in the touch. Next step is to materialize it. When this happens, and more of this happens, your memory is going to start fading, because you will start getting connected directly. You don't have to memorize what they did to you, where they did to you. You just boom, and you are there with them. You can exchange, you can resolve situation. So everything is changing. Everything is changing dramatically and very quickly. The more you embrace it, the more you relax and accept it. Less fear, faster change, less problems. Okay, sorry for extending the blabbering here. I'm just trying to kind of make sense of what is going on, especially energetic, especially when we are cleansing, hydrating, healing, so we understand the process better. Thank you for being here. Love you all. God bless you. Namaste.